Before we begin tonight's story, take a moment to settle in. Maybe you're curled up in your favorite chair or lying quietly in bed. Wherever you are, this story is meant for you. It's a tale of silence and memory, of unlikely companionship, and of the quiet kind of love that stays even after we're gone. So sit back, breathe slow, and let us take you to a quiet little house on Maple Hill. The house at Maple Hill. The house on Maple Hill was quiet, too quiet. For many years, it had been filled with the scent of apple pie, the creak of floorboards, and the gentle humming of Eleanor, the woman who lived there. Now only dust floated in the sunlight, and two silent shadows remained, a dog named Max and a cat named Luna. Max lay in front of Eleanor's bedroom door, a door that had stayed shut for days. His eyes stared ahead. His tail no longer wagged. Luna, skinny and cautious, slipped through the cracked kitchen window each night. She didn't really belong to the house, but she still came. For leftover crumbs, for warmth, for something like memory. The first time Max saw Luna, he growled. Luna hissed. He lunged. Luna vanished. But she came back the next night, and the next. By the fourth time, Max didn't chase her. One morning, Max heard a knock, soft, slow, and strangely familiar. He jumped up and ran to the door. But only the wind stirred the branches. Luna was sitting on the porch, watching him. She said nothing, just looked. Max lay down again, a little softer. That day, Luna ate inside the kitchen for the first time, without hiding, without rushing. Days passed in silence, no footsteps, no voices, no warm hands to scratch behind ears or pour food into bowls. Max sat by the window until the sky turned pink, waiting for a door that never opened. Luna began leaving things. A small fish bone at the kitchen door, a torn ribbon at the foot of the stairs. She didn't know why. It just felt right. One day, Max limped into the living room and saw Luna curled up on Eleanor's old armchair. He looked at her. She looked at him. And neither moved. They simply sat there, together. That night, Max lay by the fireplace. Luna followed and lay beside him, not touching, but close. It was the first night the house didn't feel completely empty. In sleep, Max dreamed. He saw Eleanor calling to him as a puppy, the first time she brought him home in a basket that smelled like bread. He remembered the afternoons on the porch, her reading a book and his head resting on her lap. He remembered her laughter and later her coughs, which came more and more often. When he woke, Luna was watching him from the windowsill. She didn't ask, didn't intrude, but Max knew. She understood. Winter came to Maple Hill like a whisper turned roar. The wind howled. Snow piled high. One morning, Max slipped on the icy porch and couldn't get up. He barked, once, twice, then silence. Inside, Luna heard. She scratched at the kitchen window until it opened slightly. She slipped out, found Max, and nudged him. He didn't move. She curled up beside him, sharing what little warmth she had. Then she ran inside, found the last can of food and dragged it beside him. She stayed there all night. Then Max opened his eyes. He licked her ear, and Luna purred. Max recovered, but he was slower. Now Luna hunted in the cold and damp. She climbed rooftops, slipped through broken fences, gathered crumbs and scraps from forgotten corners. One rainy night, she returned soaked and shivering, her fur dripping, her body trembling. Max, lying by the fire, pushed the old blanket toward her with his nose. He didn't look, didn't speak. Just let his tail rest softly over her back. That was his way of saying thank you. When spring came, they sat together on the porch each morning. Max watched the fields. Luna watched Max. No one spoke, but both were there. One day, a kind neighbor left a bowl of water and some food. They didn't touch it for days. Then, one afternoon, Luna took a bite. Max drank a sip. From then on, they called it breakfast from the nameless friends. One sunny morning, Luna scratched at a loose floorboard in the hallway. Underneath was a small wooden box. Inside, a folded letter. To Max and Luna, if you're reading this, then I am gone. But I know you're not alone. You were my family. Now, be each other's. Love, Eleanor. They didn't understand every word, but they understood enough. That afternoon, Max carried the letter in his mouth and walked with Luna to the maple tree. Sunlight flickered through the leaves, and for a moment it felt like Eleanor was humming again. Summer came. It was hot. Still. The cottage was now overgrown. Wildflowers curled around the porch. But Max and Luna were still there. Each midday they lay beneath the maple tree. No one called their names, but they didn't need that anymore. A young girl walking past with her mother looked up and whispered, "Mommy, that dog and cat are guarding the house," and the mother smiled. "Yes, I think they are." That afternoon, Max and Luna lay on the porch, their eyes following the woman and child as they walked away. They didn't bark, didn't run, just watched. The porch creaked. The wind rustled the maple leaves, and the house, though old, felt steady, as if someone was still waiting inside. At the edge of day, the porch bathed in golden light. A golden retriever and a pale yellow cat sat side by side, still as statues. Their shadows stretched long behind them. Neither moved, neither needed to. The world was quiet, and it was enough. Long after the sun had set, the porch stood empty, but paw prints remained. A frayed blanket lay folded near the door. A bowl still rested by the step, and in the hush of the breeze you could almost hear the memory of a purr and a sigh. Family doesn't always look the way we expect. Sometimes it walks on four legs, sometimes it growls or it purrs, but it always stays, especially on Maple Hill. Thank you for joining us for this gentle journey. If this story touched your heart, please consider giving it a like, sharing it with someone who could use a moment of stillness, and subscribing for more quiet stories from the rocking chair. Because sometimes the quietest stories are the ones that stay with us the longest. See you next time.